Obviously, you guys had a lot of guys contribute today, but I'm just curious with what Connor was able to do on the offensive end, what do you think that will mean for him and also for the team?
Absolutely. When Connor comes off the bench and gets an extra spot like that, we all get excited. We all want to see him succeed. So when he's hitting shots like that, it gives us momentum, gives the crowd momentum because the crowd loves it when he gets into it. So we just always look for Connor when he's in the game, and we know he's going to knock it down. We believe in him.
Well, go ahead, Nick. Right
Hey, Connor, kind of going off Jeff's question, just what was a game like this today? Like, obviously hitting some shots, but also making an impact defensively, I think, drawing a couple fouls, offensive fouls, and then showing some emotion after some of those as well.
Yeah, just kind of making the most, while I'm in there. You never know, when your last game, your last minute will be. And to be able to go out there and just kind of play hard, make, winning plays on both ends of the floor, that's something I've been working on a lot recently. And it kind of translates from practice, too. So to have it going on both ends, it was great.
right next to...
For Connor, did you know going in that you'd be getting into the game earlier? Had you had a talk with Greg regarding that, or did you just find out when you got in?
I mean, it was just kind of game time, as it happened. So like I said earlier, kind of making the most of what I got and always staying ready.
For Tyler, what does it say about this team's depth? I mean, 36-18 bench points, I think 23 in the first half. Just what does it say about y'all's depth, and how much deeper are you this year than maybe in the past?
I mean, yeah, we get that second group in, we get the third group in, and you don't really see a dip in the numbers, or if there is, it's not too much. So there's not really stressing about the next group coming in or who's in there. When we get a group of 5 out there, they're putting in their best effort and trying to stick to what we do. And so I feel like we've done a pretty good job of that over these last few games, and we're going to look to keep it going.
Michael?
Connor, obviously Greg's said a lot about your defense and, been demanding a lot of your defense over the last couple games. I mean, can you put into perspective the pressure, I guess, you feel on that end to make plays and, what the relief it was to, I guess, make a few today?
Yeah, I mean, it's always something that, I've known I've needed to get better at. And coach and teammates have always been on me about it ever since the day before I got here, even. And so to be able to go out there and just kind of, have that in the back of my mind that's the area that I know I need to get better at. So I'm really just going out there doing the best I can every day.
Go ahead, Michael.
Chucky, you were in a bit of a slump of your own, I guess. To see a couple threes so good, I guess when that shot starts to fall with all the improvements that you've made, how does that, change your ceiling as a player, I guess, within this offense?
Sure, it just gives me more confidence. It makes us even harder to guard because when I'm hitting threes, when Connor's hitting threes, when multiple of us are hitting threes, it just makes us hard to guard. You kind of got to extend, and we got enough players that can get to the rim, and so it just opens things up.
We've got one in the back, and
Tyler is one of the leaders on this team, and just kind of, you guys have always prided yourself as a strong defensive team. But the way that you guys get defensive stops, move fast into transition, and can turn those, turn those into points quickly. What does it say about how dangerous this team can be, not just in the Big Ten, but across the nation?
I mean, yeah, we're not known for really running up and down, but we're going to take advantage of those opportunities. And I feel like we got good defensive players on the team where we're playing as a team, playing as a solid group, and we're able to take advantage of those. So, I mean, we're not necessarily looking to get steals, but when we turn that pressure up, we're looking to get easy buckets and disrupt the timing for sure.
go ahead, Ben.
Connor, right in front here. Has this year been any more or less mentally challenging than last year for you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it has been a little bit more, but just kind of taking the adversity that's came, my way, starting with the back injury and all that, and just kind of taking it head on, and going at it and taking it to heart. And I feel like it's made me, a better basketball player, to this point, even a better person as well. And so, the challenges that have came my way, it's something I'll take the next one on too, head to head.
Jeff.
Tyler, over here. Before you came in, their coach talked about the fact he said he thought his team played well enough offensively to win. I'm just curious, are they hard to guard because they put up some decent numbers? And also, even though they scored some points against you guys, does the fact that your offense is much more effective this year take pressure off you?
I mean, yeah, they were good. I don't know. They shot pretty well from three, and that's a team where you get them go or they get going behind the line, and it can be a long night for you. So I feel like we did a pretty good job of limiting those numbers, but they still hit a good amount. And what was the other part of the question?
Just knowing that you can score.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it does help. We got a lot of guys that can put the ball in the hoop, and I feel like a lot of guys are oozing confidence. Where maybe last year it wasn't as high as this. So we're gonna look to keep it going, and yeah, just keep scoring.
One more for the players. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, for Tyler and Chucky, Tyler, you just mentioned kind of some of the oozing confidence. I was going to ask a couple days ago, Steven said that, the confidence is a little bit higher within this group. There's like a special feeling or confidence right now. Just can you speak to how you've kind of seen that a little bit compared to maybe previous years and just how important it is, games like this as well as upcoming road games too?
I mean, I feel like the confidence really, really helps when just from experience. Where last year we went through a lot of games where we were in them, we were right in there at the end of the game, and we let them slip away, or we'd come out on top. And so, being battle tested through those has really helped us. Another year of just the off season, perfecting our craft, and then I just feel like the chemistry. Everyone's got confidence in each other. There's not a three that I wouldn't have anyone on the team shoot. So, I feel like that goes for other people, and we just got ultimate confidence in our team.
Nailed it.
Perfect.
Obviously, a terrific team win. Really happy for our guys. I think they, for the most part, followed the plan. I don't know if we talked about making 13 threes, but, defensively tried to, control them the best we could, minimizing their attempts from three. And obviously they got really good players and have scored a lot of points. But I thought just up and down the lineup, we got great contributions. Obviously, Connor comes in and knocks down some shots, but John, Kamari McGee, even though he played about 6 minutes, I thought they were very impactful. Nolan Winters' play continues to learn as a freshman. So just a lot of good things across the board, and happy for our guys. And this league is... it's got to continue to move forward, and we got a big one, as they all are, Wednesday night in Columbus. Questions, Ben?
Greg, you mentioned when you played Iowa that the matchup didn't really kind of fit Essegian defensively. What did you like about the matchup today, putting him in there, and did what you see today, was that a carryover from what he's been doing in practice the last couple of weeks?
If you pull out yesterday, yeah. Were you at practice yesterday, Ben? Okay. It's as I told Andy Katz on the BTN after the game, it was practice better. That's been for 150 years, that's a pretty common, approach. If you practice well and try to correct some things. I thought he had some good things yesterday. I thought some things he struggles with, but it's not for him wanting to try to, he's absorbed coaching, and his teammates have supported him, and they've supported him by really, challenge him in practice in terms of how the scout team competes. And that's a big credit I gave to them. The scout team in the locker room was that they really prepared us where it made today much easier. So, for Connor, it's a matter of just continue to get better, and when your opportunities come, obviously everybody loves the ball going in, but I told him yesterday, I don't care about that. I want you to compete. I want you to defend, scrap, get a little scratched up and dusty a little bit, dirty, and shots will go in. And, like I said, he knows he can help this team, but he also knows that, it's more than just shooting that he has to do. So, and today I thought he did some good things, and his teammates deserve credit for helping him fight through those rough times.
Jeff.
Greg, kind of probably to flip to the shooting a little bit for both Connor and Chucky, because neither guy had shot it well from three this season. I think you think both guys can do that.
Right.
How much better can that make this team or more dangerous if those guys are hitting just at a decent clip?
Right. Yeah, I don't get really too wound up into what shooting statistics tell me when we get in games because I see him every day in practice. We chart all the drills. I mean, Connor shot it really well in the drills, and Chucky has too. He's so over time, it'll work itself out. You'll have streaks where you're really good, and the thing is with this group, I just don't want to be dependent on it. That you have to have threes. That's why playing in the paint, having 36 points in the paint. We don't go to the free throw line much because you're making threes and because you're shooting almost 60%. So you're not going to get fouled a lot. But I don't want to be dependent on being one-dimensional offensively. If we make threes, great. But if we aren't, or if their teams are, able to take them away somehow, we got to find other ways. And that's the paint, that's the foul line, that's offensive rebounding, those things.
Nick, go ahead.
Hey, Greg, you said in your opening statement just something about kind of the number of guys, a lot of guys contributing. Tyler talked about, I think, not having like a worry or doubt with anybody shooting a three or whatever shot. What does that just kind of say, not only in your belief of some of the depth, but also their belief in each other that you've seen?
Yeah, I think they understand, and I saw that back in the summer, and I really tried to message that consistently when we started in September, that we have a deep team, and sometimes you don't want selfishness to creep in when maybe guys aren't getting as many minutes, even the starters, as what they normally would. So just really echoing and messaging, this is about the team and what can be accomplished as a team. And they've all, to their credit, have joined in on that. And they understand in order for us to do what we want to do, it's going to take everybody. And it's not just on game days. It's practices, it's weight room. It's all 18 guys are important to this, and they all have a role. Some of them change as the season goes on. But they have to continue to be committed to the team first and give themselves to that, to the team. And this group is doing it. I mean, and you're always, I think, in today's world of, everybody talks about the transfer portal, NIL, and some of those things that they promote individualism, and you have to counter that. That's part of it, the world we're in. But from a coaching staff standpoint and how you want your culture, your program to be, it's still about the team is going to accomplish big things, and when those big things happen, individuals get rewarded as a byproduct of a team being really good.
Go ahead, Em.
I think Nebraska had like 15 steals in its last game, 16 the game before that. You only end up with about 8 turnovers. Just how are you able to kind of stay as efficient as you usually are against their defense?
I mean, floor spacing, good decisions. The ones where we did turn it over, I know 3 times we drove baseline when we shouldn't drive baseline. It's cut off. How they defend schematically shuts that off anyway. They got an extra guy at the rim or in the paint. First possession of the game was one of them where we drove, and I think Max threw it back cross court. It's a cardinal sin not to throw it back across the floor. But I think you just taking care of the ball and making good decisions is something we talk about from the day they walk in the door. That's usually the first thing they hear from me. Mike Bray had an old saying he had in his locker room at Notre Dame. If you take care of the ball and go to class, you and I are going to get along just fine. So I haven't used that one on them yet, but if they take care of the ball, good things happen when you take care of the ball because you get a shot at the basket. But you have to have unselfish players and not forcing things, and there's still things we can get better at. But I like the unselfishness of this group.
Michael?
You've mentioned Connor's improvements in practice in response to the hard coaching. I guess on a smaller scale, have you seen some of those same improvements with his game minutes in what he provides, even though it hasn't quite netted a 4 3-point performance like today?
I don't know how to really answer that question, Mike. I mean, Marcus Ilver's practiced well too, and I'm trying to get him in the game at times. But it's just like I said the other night. It's a blessing and a curse that we're so deep. I think situationally, Connor came in and took advantage of his opportunities. We ran some things for him. Got guys in there that we were able to find the right, the combination of lineups, which I'm still, because there's so many guys, I'm still trying to learn what combinations are good together, not good together. those things. So, I think the credit goes to Connor because he had some things pointed out a month or so ago that he needed to get better at, and it wasn't going to happen overnight, and it's still not going to happen overnight. He's not where he can be and needs to be, but at least he acknowledged it, embraced it, and said, all right, yeah, I know I have to get better at A, B, and C, and obviously he has a skill set. He shoots the ball at a high level, but he also understands for this team to be at the level we want to be at, he's got to do more than that because we play really good teams, and you have to do more than just shoot it. You have to continue to work to become a complete player.
I think I meant more so about just if he's allotted 5 minutes, have you seen the progress like you've seen in practice with that 5 minutes each game?
Well, he practices all the time. The kid never gets a break because when the scout team takes him out, I bring him over with me. So he probably haven't put the connects on or had Jimmy Schneider, our strength coach, their connects on or whatever we track. He's probably running 3, 4, 5 miles of practice. So just because he needed to get reps, he needed to guard us, we needed to guard him. I think just having that level of competition in front of him all the time, like if he's on the scout team, Max Klesmit's staring him eyeball to eyeball, and that competition I think has helped Connor. And then when he comes over, he's in there. He's not getting a lot of breaks with us, and I hold him accountable to guard just like I hold anybody else to. He doesn't get a pass just because he can shoot the ball. I don't give Steve Crowell a pass because he's 7 feet. There's things that you have to do, and some do it better than others. But as long as you're making the attempt and compete and embrace the physicality that comes with this game at this level, then you can make good things happen. And he's trying to do that, and he made good things happen today.
In the back, and then Jeff.
Greg, especially early on, too, your defense got key stops. They forced a lot of pressure, and you guys were able to move fast into transition and turn that into points quickly. From a big picture standpoint, where is your belief, not only as, believing that this team could be a force to be reckoned with in the Big Ten, but possibly in the nation?
Well, we have to keep getting better. There's things as a coach I'll find on film on both ends of the floor we can continue to get better at, and you take what you learn out of these 40 minutes and learn from them and quickly turn the page. But you can't get caught. We're not going to rest on any laurels or anything. It's these guys understand you. If you get complacent or content, that's when somebody's going to kick you right in the teeth. So you just got to get better, and I think the depth also helps us in practice because those guys compete against each other. Tyler Wahl's got to guard Marcus Ilver and vice versa, and Steve Crowell's got to guard Chris Hodges, and sometimes I throw Gilmore over on the scout team. So as long as you have competition in practice, I think that keeps iron sharpens iron. And as long as you stay competitive, and that's where the depth has helped us have better practices. We'll only worry about the next game. You take care of the here and now, then later, whatever later becomes, will take care of itself. But you stay in the moment and keep focusing on getting better.
Jeff, go ahead.
Greg, obviously Stephen and Tyler have played a lot of basketball for you, but right now, what are they giving this team, both individually and the way they play off each other on the court?
Maturity. I think that's the biggest thing, and that's you heard me say it, a lot about retention and having guys return. Not only return but get better, and they both have gotten better. But it's maturity, and you have two bigs that are experienced, and they both pass it. I think they had eight assists, 1 turnover between the two of them, and that's always when you have bigs that can pass and are skilled like that really puts a lot of pressure on a defense, and that may be Steve's number one strength is his skill set, is his ability to pass. Double teams and help and raids really, it's kind of good for us because we play 4-on-3 somewhere else. So and he's willing to find guys, sometimes too unselfishly, but I think maturity is a big piece of those two guys in their combination.
Okay, final question for Coach. Go ahead, Michael.
Max was obviously in charge of denying Tominaga. I guess at what point when he walked into the building, with the Badgers, I guess, did he start demanding those types of matchups?
I really saw his leadership kind of and his voice emerge last year, late in the year, back quarter of the season through the NIT run. I think it took him a while to really get confidence in himself that he could play at this level. I mean, with the transfer, sometimes the jump up is deeper water than you expect. But I think by the time we got to that, February, mid-February, and once he got confidence in himself and really had to, you can't open your mouth until you can do it yourself, So by that time, he had proven it to himself and to his teammates that he, could do good things at this level. And I just watched from that point on. I think he was able to use his voice, and he's a tough nut. I mean, so he wanted that, and he liked the challenge of it, and we got other help. I put Kamari on him for a little bit, gave him a little different look. John's a little longer, a little different look too, but they use him in a variety of ways and put pressure on you. They got a big that passes pretty well too, and rank mass. So I think just everybody, like I mentioned earlier, everybody has a role on the team, and Max knows what his role is and plays it pretty well.